Hi, this is Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai here. I'm just doing a test right now as we are going live on Facebook at the Think India page. Yeah, are we good? I'm just trying to wait for a few seconds before others also join me. Hi, am I audible? Is it good? Thank you so much. So friends, first of all, a warm good evening. आपको सबको कल जो हुई रामनवमी उसकी शुभेच्छा। और मुझे पता है कि basically we are going through some tough times and everybody would be inside the house and we're not supposed to be moving out because of the corona problem. But let us take this positively and think that, behind every problem there is an opportunity, and one of the opportunities that we have got, thanks to the Think India platform, thanks to Ganesh sir, is that we are actually getting live for the first time. I have addressed a lot of events at the Think India platform across India. I've been very fortunate to work and probably connect with some of the brilliant youth of this particular country. And when Ganeshji told me that we should have this particular Facebook Live, my first answer is yes, or kab karna hai. So with that, I'm glad that all of us are together on this particular platform. And the topic that we have decided for the next half an hour is Chanakya and the youth of India. It's a very interesting topic, close to my heart, of course, Chanakya and the youth of India. And what I will be doing, I'm going to look at three things. One is Chanakya, about the life of Chanakya. Second is the youth of India, some of the thoughts that I have from Indian heritage and the modern day. And the third and the most important one, if there is any questions, please keep posting it on the platforms, on the comment section. I'll pick up a few and answer them also. So friends, before we start about Chanakya, since the topic is youth of India, I like to invoke the blessings of my spiritual guru, Swami Chinmayananji. Some of you must have already heard about Swami Chinmayananji. And he actually created one of the youth wings of Chinmaya Mission, which was called as the Chinmaya Yuva Kendra. Chinmaya Yuva Kendra actually has been my, foundations of life, where I actually grew, and whatever I am today, the time that I spent in the youth days in Chinmaya Mission has made me what I am. So I like to invoke Swami Chinmayananji and all the spiritual gurus and great teachers who have helped me in my life to achieve success, name, fame, glory. But I would like to start by quoting what he said. He said about youth, youth are not useless, they're used less. Youth are not useless, they're used less. Youth are not careless, they're cared less. So youth are not useless. You have to give them some purpose. They're not careless, they need to be cared. And I've been fortunate to actually being connected with the youth of India and of course many youth across the world. So I'm going to speak about some thoughts in this particular Facebook Live. So once again, thanks to the organizers. So let me start with the first part, that is a Chanakya story. Friends, all of you have heard about Chanakya in one way or the other. Some of you must have seen the whole episode of Chanakya, the television serial which was run in Doordarshan. It's also currently running by Dr. Chandraprakash Dwivedi. 47 episodes, please watch it. That's the life of Chanakya. Some of you must have also seen the live drama, which is directed, acted by Mohan Joshi ji. You can also see him. He has been promoting Chanakya in a big way. And of course, there are a lot of books written by Chanakya, of Chanakya, by the various people who got inspired by Chanakya. So India is a country where, without the Chanakya part, it is not complete. And I've been fortunate to actually study Chanakya and try to interpret it in a modern way. So that's my contribution. So let me start with the small background of Chanakya as I've understood it. So let me clarify that I'm not a historian. There are a lot of different versions of Chanakya and his life stories that I've come across. But we will say, generally what we know about Chanakya was that he was born in India in the 4th century BC, which is roughly 2,400 years from today he lived. And as all of you may be aware of it, that he lived in Patliputra, which is the modern day Patna in the Magad kingdom. He went to Takshashila. He studied the various Arthashastras that was there before him. He of course wrote his own Arthashastra, but he studied at Takshashila University, became a great teacher. himself, and later on he had to come back, and there were challenges internal and external for the country, and he solved it with the youth power of the country. He defeated Alexander. Think about it. Alexander was very young and dynamic, and he required a counter-attack, and he created Chandragupta Maurya. So we say that, Chandragupta Maurya actually is the student, the youth power of India, which got directed, and the king is actually created by the kingmaker. So Chandragupta Maurya is the king, but created by the kingmaker Chanakya. What is very important is that he also wrote 2 books, that is Kautilya's Arthashastra and Chanakya Niti. And these are the 2 books that have been working for so many years. I've been in this path for the last 20 years, and the 15 books that I've written on Chanakya, and 2 movies I got involved in, a lot of other things, everything has been based on these 2 books of Chanakya, which is Kautilya's Arthashastra and Chanakya Niti. So friends, one of my objectives and aims in life is to promote Chanakya's wisdom in the modern day context. And all of you, the young boys and girls, the Think India members, the platforms that you have got, please study Chanakya not just as a historical character. Yeah, of course, he's a historical character, a very eminent personality of our Indian culture and Indian era. But also what is very equally important is that we should look at Chanakya from a leadership standpoint. He was a leadership guru. He was a management guru. My first book, Corporate Chanakya, says, management the Indian way. So he talks about how to manage the whole kingdom. And the Arthashastra, there are various formats of managing a whole kingdom. There is a Saptanga model, there is a Mandala theory, there is a concept of Vijigishu, the world conqueror, etc., etc. So please do study about Chanakya and how he guided the young generations to become world leaders. What I'm going to talk about is how should the youth of India approach to Chanakya be. So one is, of course, the studious part of it and trying to understand Chanakya's wisdom. But, I would like to tell that, if you study Chanakya, you will not understand what is failure. Yeah, and I'm making a very important statement over here. If you understand Chanakya, you will not understand what is failure. Because he plans so well, he's got a backup plan and a backup plan and a backup plan, that everything that goes wrong, he's always ready with his nets. So somebody was once asked, does Chanakya believe in plan A and plan B? And that scholar said, no. Chanakya believes in plan Z. So A, B, C, D up till X, Y, Z. So he would look at so many scenarios. So I think if we get a chance to study Chanakya's life, look at as a strategist, look at as somebody who is intelligent, but also dynamic. So there are leadership qualities that is given in Arthashastra, which the youth of India can actually apply. And the first leadership quality he talks about is intelligent and dynamic. Not 2 leadership qualities, 1 leadership quality, intelligent and dynamic. They are 2 sides of the same coin. दोनों एक ही गुण है, but उसके 2 पहलू हैं. You have to be intelligent, studious, but you also have to be dynamic. A lot of people are intelligent, but no dynamic. They never like to get out of the room. They don't want to talk to people. They're not socially active. Of course, now you have to keep social distance because of the corona problem. But the reality is that if you are always distant from what happened in the society, if you're not relating yourself to the realities of the world, probably you're not a good youth. Youth should be socially active. They should be nationally active, and they should think what I can do, instead of looking at what I can get. The very famous statement, it is instead of asking what the country can do for you, ask what you can do for the country. So the first quality is that you have to be intelligent, but also dynamic. Yes, it's very important. The second quality that Chanakya talks about for the youth is called Vriddha Sanyogaha. Vriddha Sanyogaha. Vriddha means elders, experienced people. See, the advantage of youth is very, very, very high energy. Yes, we have energy, and energy requires a direction. But the reality is that who gives the direction? The direction is always given by the people who are more experienced than you are. So Vriddha is actually elders, wise people. Unke sanyog mein rehke, to associate yourself with the wise and elderly people will make the youth productive. Yes, so Vriddha Sanyoga is a quality of leadership. The third quality, that is called humility. And this is where the difference comes in. A lot of people with energy, power, and today's generation with the communication and the technology speed that we have, somewhere it goes into our head that we know it all. The moment you think we know it all, your growth has already stopped. That's why Chanakya says you may be the number 1, but you have to keep learning continuously. For continuous learning doesn't mean only getting degrees after degrees. Initially you used to study to get a job. Now you study to maintain your job. Okay, and I would suggest that all of you should also look at your particular fields that you have chosen your career to be. Get associated with some vriddha. Vriddha means somebody who actually is expert in this particular field, and get associated. So, in the olden days, in the Gurukul system, there was a seva bhav. The modern education system actually doesn't give us a seva bhav to the Guru. It gives us a lot of projects to work with the Guru. So projects is fine, assignments, dissertations, everything is fine. But in the olden Gurukul, if the Guru said you have to go and do this, that's also an assignment. It is never considered something personal versus professional. So Vriddha Sanyoga is a quality of leadership. So if you want to choose a field, work under that particular expert. Let me tell you my own example. I was fortunate enough to work with Dr. Shubhada Joshi, who was my PhD guide in the University of Mumbai. And for me, it was never the relation between a guide and and a doctoral student. For me, the whole platform that I got at the Mumbai University was saying, "What can I do for you? What can I do for you?" And you'd be surprised. The tuning between me and the teacher was so good that after she retired, she actually made me head of a department. So if you want to be a leader, learn from other leaders with a seva bhav, which is called Vriddha Sanyoga. But remember, we need to have humility. The more you grow up, you will grow in power. But you should always be humble. Humility is a quality. Vidya dadati vinayam. Vinayam dadati patrata. So be always ready to receive knowledge from the great people. Now what we're going to do is basically, I'm going to talk about not only Chanakya, but some qualities which is given about how youth should be in our Indian culture. In the background, you can actually see Ganeshji, yeah, and also Hanumanji. There are two Hanumanjis, both my children, Anvik, Shiki and Arjun. They actually attend the Bal Vihar class in the Chinmaya mission format. Every spiritual organization is trying to develop the youth and also the children. And one of the assignments that was given is actually this. They had to make a craft and they had to actually write qualities of Hanumanji. And I thought I should share it with you because Chanakya learns a lot of qualities about how to govern a kingdom even from the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Yeah. So don't think that Chanakya's parampara is only Chanakya's parampara. It's a parampara that has come down from Bhishmacharya onwards. So I thought, if you want to look at one of the most dynamic role models that the youth can have is actually Hanumanji. Because Hanumanji had the power, but more than the power, he had the seva bhav to Ramji. So children given this particular assignment project, and I thought, what is hanging on my wall, I will just share a few qualities and directly relates to how the youth should be. So the first one is called Balam. Balam means strength, not just physical strength, but also mental strength. The real problem starts with the mind. So if you're mentally strong, you'll be a winner in life. If you're mentally strong, you'll be a winner in life. Half of the problem starts when you don't want to take up the project. ये मेरे से नहीं होगा या मेरी capability नहीं है. There was a question once, one student asked his teacher, saying that एक अकेला आदमी क्या करेगा? What can one person do? And the Guru replied, only one person can do. Only one person can do, and that is called leadership. And take the first step. Others will follow you. So great leaders have the Balam quality in them. Balam means strength, first at the mental level, and also of course at the physical level. But that Balam has to be continuous. A lot of people, they talk about passion, and you say it is a very strong person. When problem comes, they say, no, I want to leave. Especially today, if you look at the startup eras, 95% of the startups fail. Actually, the reason is that they never have the guidance, which is a lack of Vriddha Sanyoga, and they're not mentally strong enough to sustain during the bad times. It is okay, ups and downs come, but the mental strength gives you the strength to keep going on. So, Balam. The second quality is Buddhi. The youth has to be Buddhiman and Balavan. What does the Buddhi means? Intellect. Yes, it's very important. You have to be intelligent, studious. So don't just gather Google-based information, because my teacher used to tell, Google search is not research. Okay, Google search can be used for research, but go down, talk to people, read books, research papers. The third quality that is given is Yasha. Wow, that's important. Youth likes to be famous, right? So we have the TikToks and the Facebooks and the Instagrams to become popular. There is nothing wrong in being popular. But the word in Sanskrit, Yasham, actually means the right popularity. So you can actually be an underworld don and also become popular. That's the best way. But that's not the point. By becoming a terrorist and becoming famous, going on the negative side of the society, and we are not talking about fame. We are talking about yasha, fame for the right reason because they've done a good job. So, yasha is a quality of the youth. You should be famous, but for what is also a question. I like this next word, which is called dhairyam. Dhairya, courage. The youth of India has to be courageous, and that is exactly what Swami Vivekananda always said. The quality of a youth is not dying and zindagi mein koi hope nahi hai, pata nahi kya kare, are tum hi to hope ho. So now the dhairyam that comes in. So look at mental strength and the intellectual conviction and the courage to do things. Swami Chinmayananda used to tell something very fascinating. He used to say there are three types of people. One who never start thinking about the problem. I can't do it. The second start, but they stop when they see a problem. And the third, they start, see a problem, they run away. But the third quality is they complete the challenge in spite of all problems and achieve the goal. That's why the clarion call for the youth of India that was given by Swami Vivekananda was Uttishtaha Jagrataha. Get up and get ready and stop not till the goal is achieved. जब तक आपकी लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति नहीं होती, तब तक रुकना नहीं. हमें रुकना नहीं, हमें झुकना नहीं. काम प्रभु का हमें करना है. देश का काम हमें करना है. Look at Hanuman ji being a role model. He says, Ram Kaj, till my goal is not achieved, I will not come back. And therefore, dhairyam is important. And of course, the next one is nirbhayam. Wow, what a beautiful word. Fearless. That's a strength. And fearless doesn't mean going with weapons. It is not the weapons that you actually make you strong. It is the mental strength that makes you strong. So come what may, I believe that there is a strength in me that I can invoke. Youth is dynamic, and the dynamic energy should actually make you strong. And the third one, and the last one, among the various ones I can't take because the time is limited, is arogyam. Imagine a youth always lying on the bed, having some disease, and always waiting for somebody to push me, and oh my goodness, now I have to go to office. अरे भैया, उठ के जाग के उठ के जाने के लिए तबीयत भी अच्छी होनी जरूरी है. It is very important to have good health. So don't wait for old age to start your exercises. If you keep doing exercises when you're young, even in old age, you will have good health. So good health has to be continuous. That's very, very important. Now coming back to Chanakya, what kind of a youth did he select and what kind of qualities did he want in his own youth of that particular India? He wanted to create Raja Rishis. So if you study the Arthashastra of Kautilya, you will find that he talks about Raja Rishis. So he is a Raja. The creator himself is a Rishi. He's a guru, right? But he says you have to be a Raja, but with a spiritual background. It is called a philosopher king. See, in the Western world, it is a concept saying that people have to be philosopher king. And actually, it's a Raja Rishi concept from our own country. So friends, without spiritual background, you cannot be the youth of India. Okay, now here is my point which differentiates us from the others. See, youth is common in every quality. Youth is common in every part of the world. The qualities are the same. For example, youth always will be dynamic, energetic. They will be creative. They will want to build their own future. So if you look at an American youth or a South African youth or somebody from any other part of the world or from India, these are common qualities. But that doesn't make us the original youth of India. All these qualities are natural because you are young. But if you're an Indian and if you're a young Indian, your role models should be spiritual role models. That's why we are so glad that the youth of India's actual role model officially is Swami Vivekananda. We celebrate his birthday the 12th of January as National Youth Day. But it is not just about celebrating, it is studying the life of great saints. So without spiritual background. So let me tell you friends, there is this whole debate in the society that spirituality is meant for something post-retirement. It's actually saying that, after your life is over, you will think what to do in your life. Spirituality should be the beginning point of your life. And in youth, it should be applied. Sauraj dhiraj tahirat chaka satyashila mama vraja pratapa dhwaja pratapa. This is a Ram, was a young person fighting against the whole challenges, was in front of Ravan. And Lakshmanji comes and says, oh, bhaiya, Ravan is huge, and you can't fight him. No, don't worry. It is not the weapons. It is the qualities inside me that will make me win the wars. These spiritual qualities is what we need to develop as a youth of our country. And if you don't have it, don't call yourself the youth of India. Please call yourself youth. but not the youth of India, because the youth of India is based on dharmic qualities. Dharma is the base of Indian culture, and the youth has to debate and discuss on dharma. Now let me come to a few points which is actually a matter of concern for me. Chanakya want to create Rajarishis, and what are the kind of youth are we creating in our particular generation? The only discussion that we have, especially I go to schools, colleges, I actually discuss and debate with the parents. Oh my goodness, everybody talks about two things: career and money. Wow, what is going to be my education? What is going to be my career? How will I make my money? I'm not telling you career is not important, finance is not important, getting married and settling and having a house and a car is not important. But this is not the debate and discussion that we are supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be discussing spiritual dilemmas. We are supposed to be discussing our culture, ethos. We are supposed to be discussing our scriptures. Whenever I go, my little point is to at least introduce children. Because, sometimes I believe it is not even the problem of the youth. It is actually the problem of the education system. In fact, I am an educationalist myself. And there's a saying our education system is actually an examination system. Oh, what a culture and what a youth are we creating. Everybody is only talking about competition. Nobody talks about collaboration, helping each other. Two brothers want to have two houses. Nothing wrong. But, we have never thought about it. That was a great culture where we always never fought with each other, but together we fought with the enemy. Let me tell you that we never fought with each other. So today the competition is against you and me. So there is this joke about examinations that there was this 10th standard examination that happened, and the results came out, and there was a boy who was dancing and there was a girl who was crying. So somebody went to the girl and said, what happened? And said, oh, I only got 96%. She was expecting 99 or 100. I got only 96%. That's why I'm upset. And they went to the boy, what happened? He said, I got 35%, I passed. So if you look at it, today the joy or the sadness is dependent on the marks that you get, the kind of jobs that you get. And I tell you, it's so unfortunate that, if you do this small trial amongst yourself, go to the youth and just ask them, how many of you want to be teachers? And you'd be surprised, hardly anybody. At least now they're getting paid well. But teaching, which is the highest profession of this particular country, the most respected profession, nobody wants to join. They want to join the corporate world. Nothing wrong. I have written a book on corporate Chanakya. Corporate world is very good. But you have to also understand us as a country where we need to develop more qualities than being competitive and making a career. So friends, I would like to give you 2-3 practical tips depending on our generation. Now looking at it, I would say that we are a very, 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 very lucky generation. Because our generation doesn't talk about roti kapda makan or bijli sadak pani. Now this will be a kind of a problem that naturally will get sorted with time. It's not a major problem. Our previous generation worked very hard. But today the challenge is about, what am I supposed to do? And one of the key questions that everybody asks is, what exactly is the field in which I should work? I want to find my passion. I want to find a purpose in my life. And I want to tell the youth of the country saying that, our Shastras actually have given a direction how to find the purpose of your life. It is called finding your Swadharma. See, everybody is unique. Everybody cannot be equal. Let me repeat that. Everybody is born unique. Everybody cannot be equal. Equality is a concept that has come from the West. And we respect that particular concept also. Because everybody should be treated equally. That is one fine. But equality is not about saying that if I do something and you also do something, both of us should be paid equally. No. It has to be productivity. It has to be measured correctly. And your law of karma also is important. If you work very hard, you should get the benefits of the hard work also. So the question is that everybody wants to be equal. No. Our Shastra says every human being who is born on this particular earth has got a purpose in their life. And that purpose will be only fulfilled or achieved if you find what your Swadharma is. So if you're a Kshatriya, it says your Swadharma is to fight. If you're a Vaishya or a business community person, your Swadharma is to actually create wealth. You are a Raja, then you have to go and lead the kingdom. So whatever you choose, you have to give your 100% to it. Now the key question everybody asks is, how do you find your Swadharma? Don't worry about it. Our Indian system says, there is something unique in you. Probably you can go to an astrologer and find out. because they're also related to your past birth. You don't start from this. So there's a lot of things that we can share some other platform. There's a process to find out your Swadharma. Write down and say that, what am I good at? What am I not good at? Find out that one thing. I'm fortunate that when I was young, I actually find out my purpose in my life. I've dedicated everything to one single pointed purpose, that is Chanakya, 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 and only Chanakya. And that has helped me. Focus in life is very important. Choose your path carefully. Choose your purpose of life carefully. It should be aligned with your Swadharma. But the moment you get it, give you 100%, give it a lifetime. That is how the energy of the youth should be. So while winding up, I'll give you 2-3 tips of what the youth should be doing, because it's a completely lucky generation, but the generation requires guidance. Energy without direction is the most dangerous thing. So please find a mentor or a guru in whichever field you have chosen and stick to him or her with a Shishya Bhav, and you'll be successful. Next is basically, please have very, very clear focus on building your character, because at the end of it, it's character that matters. It takes a lifetime to build a character, and it takes a moment to destroy it. So सबसे बड़ा धन आपका character ही होना चाहिए. Build your character, build your whole internal mental stamina. And one important thing is that let us understand that today our generation is becoming very, very scientific in nature. Very, very scientific in nature. But don't think that science is something that India got introduced to because of the West. We were always supposed to be spiritual. No. Our spirituality is scientific, and we were also scientific spiritually. So don't think that spirituality is only about the other world. No, look at our shastras, look at our scriptures. There's so much documentation about science. Like if you look at leadership as a science or management as a science, you look at Ayurveda as a science, you look at mathematics as a science, everything our rishis created, the formulas. The most scientific language in the whole world is Sanskrit. The grammar rules are so perfect. One dot, one dirgha would change the meaning of the whole word. So don't think that Indian culture is unscientific. It is very scientific, and we should be proud about it. So before I wind up and take up some questions, I have got 2 requests from you, and this will change your life. The first thing is that whether directly, if you're involved, very good. If you're not involved, get involved in some spiritual activity, probably through some spiritual organization. We've been fortunate. There are a lot of spiritual gurus, generation after generations, and there are thousands of spiritual organizations, be it Vivekananda Kendra, be it Chinmaya Mission that I am involved in, Swaminarayan Sanstha, or Sai Baba Puttaparthi, or whatever. It can be a different religion, it can be of a different tradition, culture. It's okay. But getting associated with a spiritual organization, you get spiritually mentored. One I spoke about was about the professional mentoring. But please also get into spirituality in one way or other. It can start with basic yoga, meditation. You can read some books about it. But spirituality is the way to the youth forward. The second request that I all of that, please start studying Indian scriptures logically. I use the word logically because that's the way I looked at it. So when I started studying the Bhagavad Gita or the Arthashastra or the Ramayana, it was not just faith and bhakti. Of course, you require faith, bhakti, shraddha, everything is required. But for me, it was a logical book. And if you go around with the national manuscripts, we've been fortunate this country has got amazing treasures of wisdom already documented. Choose a document, choose a scripture, study it scientifically, and you'll find gems of wisdom. If you want to be an engineer also, there are documents of engineering marvels that we have created. But please go back to your scriptures. Please do R&D. There's a lot of funds available by the government, by individuals who want to support if you want to do R&D today. And I just want to tell that last thing is that please focus on R&D, whichever field, because India follows what is done outside the world. We are just catching up. But your generation has to lead the world. So I always tell this, don't try to become world standards. India should not become world standards. India should be standard for the world. Don't become world standards. India should be the standard for the world. That doesn't mean belittle the other countries. Learn from them and make it better. So that's the kind of a power that we have to change the whole destiny of this particular country, the direction of this country. And our generation can do it, should do it, and must do it. And this is exactly what Chanakya says. If you have taken up something, don't give it up. And his life was absolutely full of achievements. If we decided, there's nothing that will stop. So with 3S, strength, physical, mental, intellectual, spirituality, and strategy. Strength that you should develop, spirituality should be your base, and strategy should be your plan. With all the 3S, the youth of India will definitely achieve everything that the country requires from them. Thank you so much. Now I'll try and take up some questions. There are some questions that have already come up. So, suggest an authentic book by Chanakya on public dealing. That is a question from Amit sir. Thank you, Amit ji. So my answer is, there are so many books available on Chanakya and public policy and the dealing of public. My suggestion would be that try to get the original Arthashastra itself, because all the other books are actually based on the primary book is always the Kautilya's Arthashastra. The Kautilya's Arthashastra has got 6,000 sutras that is written in Sanskrit, but luckily we have so many, I would say, translations. The book that I used was R.P. Kangle's translation. The 6,000 sutras in Sanskrit is already there, but he translated that into English. R.P. Kangleji also translated the complete 6,000 sutras into Marathi also. The publisher is Motilal Banarasi Das. Originally, it was published by Mumbai University, but Motilal Banarasi Das now publishes it. You can go to the internet and find it out. I think there are some Hindi versions by Chaukhamba publishers. Please try to look at it. But I've seen Malayalam versions. Kautilya Arthashastra is available in regional languages also. So for public policy, I would say definitely get the original Arthashastra. Maybe you can download it. There could be some free. This also available. But to get the public policy one, I would suggest that the government of India, especially the IAS Academy, is using a lot of research papers. I've been personally been part of some of the ministries, and with the institutes like ICSSR, the Indian Council of Cultural Research, and all this. We did a lot of work on public policy, on strategy. But I would also recommend, please go to IDSA, Indian Institute of Defense Studies and Analysis. All these are available on the internet. There are so many public policy documents available there based out of Arthashastra. So do study the Indian public policy based out of Arthashastra. And of course, if you are from the legal background, I would suggest that, the Supreme Court of India in Delhi has got a library in which there are a lot of legal dimensions of Arthashastra and how it was part of the making of the Indian Constitution. So please do Google. And if you want some help, I'll be always there around to you. Okay, there is a message from Philip. He says, sir, these qualities are fine, but how would we develop them? Okay, now you're absolutely right. We are just talking about theory. So how do you practice it? How do you develop them? So, in the Bhagavad Gita, there is something called as Sthita Prajna Lakshana. There are 20 qualities that is described as a Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna means a person who is, having prajna, knowledge, and is based on a lot of knowledge. So here, Swami Chinmayananji, a lot of other scholars used to give a lot of explanation of these 20 qualities. So this question came and said, oh my goodness, how do you develop all these 20 qualities? It's so difficult. It is looking very good, but it's not practically possible for me. So, Swami Chinmayananji said something very nice. He said, you don't have to practice all the 20 qualities. You choose one quality, whichever is close to you and easy to practice, the other 19 qualities will follow you. Other 19 qualities will follow you. So, I give you so many examples, but choose one. शुरुआत एक ही से होती है, बाकी आ जाएगा. So, another example that we give, and let's say there is a chair and it's got 4 legs. You don't have to pull all the 4 legs. Just pull one leg, the other 3 will follow. So the best way is theory has to be practiced. And let me tell you, don't wait for somebody to tell you. You have to do it yourself. You may have a gym coach, you may have everything, but finally one day you have to get up and start practicing it. Without practicing, all this is only theory, and as they हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, ख्याली पुलाव है ये सब. लेकिन बनाना तो आपको ही पड़ेगा. तो ये सब हम कर सकते हैं. And I have done that. I have tried it in my life, and that's why I'm saying that Indian knowledge works. So आप decide कर लीजिए which is that one quality you like, which you can develop very easily. Start small, but think big. Think big, but start small with at least one quality. Okay, then we have Nishant Kumar says, even Yudhishthira can be an example of Dhairyam. Losing all Khandwa, Hastinapur, and also he didn't lose his Dhairya. Of course, that's why his name is Yudhishthira. Yuddha mein jo sthir hai, wo Yudhishthir hai. Amazing quality, and that's why he was chosen as the leader, Bhishmacharya had taken the vrat, the very famous vrat of Bhishma Pratigna, that I will not give up my body till I find a successful heir and able heir. And that was Yudhishthira. So Yudhishthira is absolutely a role model. There are flaws in Yudhishthira. Please understand, every great man may have some weaknesses, no doubt about it. But that doesn't make him disqualified as a leader. Yudhishthira is another great role model. And please understand, Bhishmacharya gave all the knowledge about Rajaniti to Yudhishthira. It's very important to study that also from the Mahabharata. The Shanti Parva talks about it. Thank you. A lot of appreciations. Excellent. Milind sir is saying science is known spiritually and spirituality is known science by few. Yeah, that's true. Scientists and spirituality, they think it's different. But it's quite a new thing that's happening called cognitive sciences. So scientists are also saying there is another world which we can't see, and there is the implants are there from nature which we can't see. So slowly the scientists are becoming spiritual, but the spiritual people also should become scientific. So don't try to just play on the faith of people. Spirituality ke naam pe thoda sa scientific bhi ho jaiye. And today is definitely a scientific generation. If you can't talk about spirituality scientifically, then actually you're not understood spirituality. And at the end of it, even somebody like Einstein said, finally it is spirituality that will solve the problems of the world. He says you cannot solve the worldly problems at that level. You need to go to the higher level. So science and spirituality has to come together. That is our generation's responsibility. Okay, Nishant sir, don't you think that spirituality lacks in Indian system of education? Of course. That doesn't mean there are no teachers. There is spiritual teachers in the Mumbai University. We have a philosophy department. But it is not mainstream. Yes, there is a lack, but we have to do something about it. I would love to understand how can Chanakya thought be used to fill that void. I've already done that. So, in the University of Mumbai, we have started a department. It is not a course. It's an institution called the Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies, which I'm heading. Okay. And we teach the Kautilya Arthashastra there, and my students are extremely brilliant. And we teach leadership, 2 years master's degree in leadership course. And you'd be surprised, my students are from the age group of 23 to 63. So it is a formal course, instead of blaming the darkness, you light a candle. And I've been fortunate that I've been going around so many universities. Think India has given me the opportunity, Ganesh sir has given me the opportunity, so many people. And there, what I'm going to do, at least introduce. And today, Corporate Chanakya, my book has actually become part of so many management institutions. So Indian spirituality, Indian management, Indian wisdom is slowly coming in, but it is not enough and we have to do much better. Okay, so Chanakya's thought are getting introduced. Please come down to Mumbai University if you want to do the course also, because people nowadays debate science versus spirituality. Forget the debate, you prove it. That is more important. Okay, sir, what is R&D? R&D means research and development, not RN. R means research and development. So in every field, in every company, there is R&D which takes you forward. So please focus on research and development. Ganesh, okay. How can Arthashastra be used at the current time to uplift the economy? Okay, especially the corona situation and the economic situation. I've been always talking about it, and a lot of people from the government and all those people, business have been talking, kya karna chahiye, kya karna chahiye? Artha eva pradhana hiti kautilyaha. Chanakya says, taking care of the economy is very, very pradhan for a Raja. So what should he do? Keep the economic activities on. Yes, that is very, very important. In slowdown, you should not be inactive. So it's okay. We cannot go out of the house, but do something. Don't be mentally lazy. If you are mentally lazy, the current wealth will go away. So what are all the people like us doing? We cannot meet physically, but we are actually using the technology platform. It's a temporary phase. But you know what? If you keep becoming lazy in this particular, the current economic situation is going to get only worse. But keep doing some activity. And I would suggest, if you look at it positively, this is the best time to do R&D, research and development. So maybe if you're not able to go to an office, maybe you work from home, that's fine. But this is the best time to spend the time with your family. Read books. In fact, in the last 1 month, when the things have been slowing down, I've written 2 new books. I've been doing these webinars, at least 6-7 hours every day. I'm productive. So don't stop activity. Maybe the economic activity has slowed down, but your personal activity should not slow down. Be active, and when the economy will come back, we will be more active. We definitely should be the leaders of the world economically also. So don't compromise on that. Okay, last few questions I'll take looking at the time that we have. Okay, so we have something from Ambrish Tiwari ji. What can we learn from Chanakya if I want to be a lawyer and a politician? In fact, you should study the Arthashastra because the sutras will help you as a lawyer and also a politician. Rajaniti सीखना है तो राजनीति के गुरु चाणक्य से सीखना है. And he also has written on a lot of legal laws relevant, of course, to those generations. So to study that, because nothing starts from zero. So in the national law colleges also, I do go and give a lot of lectures in so many colleges. See, the law always evolves, but Chanakya's law also must have got evolved over a period of time. But the book Arthashastras, I think book number 3 calls about dharmasthya, how to take good judgments. So a lawyer and a judge should know how to take judgment. From the Arthashastra, there is a book the whole chapter on Anvikshiki. Anvikshan, how to investigate a problem and take good decisions. So that's all the tips. Please study the Arthashastra if you want to be a politician or a lawyer. Research and development, you got the reply. Varun sir, I wanted to ask you regarding your book Chanakya Niti, Strategies for Success. In the book, don't you think Chanakya has written about patriarchal society, like how an ideal wife should behave, but not how an ideal husband yeah. So, it's looking like a very, very male-centric society. To some extent, that was that generation. Yeah, there are different social systems also. If you look at our parents, when I look at my parents, I think it was very easy for women to give up their careers and, look at the family. I'm not saying right or wrong. Probably that was that generation's decision. Today's generation decision, I think the male and the female, both of them want to have their own careers. Both of them should be equally responsible for bringing up their families. So I think as far as, females or males, who is more powerful, we should not get into the debate, because every generation, every society will have their own way of looking. During Chanakya's time, there was a different social hierarchy. But let me also tell you, you only read my book Chanakya Niti. Okay, Chanakya Niti is only one part of Chanakya. If you study the Arthashastra, there were laws for women also. Women were given employment, they were respected. And just to give you the kind of a Chanakya and a woman perspective, the Raja Mata and the Raja Patni would be also given the same salaries that the Raja would get. See, woman empowerment also means financially empowering them. Can I repeat that? Don't talk about woman empowerment from, just telling them that you are powerful. You have to give them decisions, and you have to make sure they take financial decisions. If that happens, then we are actually empowering women. Okay, so do read about it, and thanks for reading my book Chanakya Niti. All of you can see that. I think India is known spiritually to all, and spiritual is known science by few. Okay, Shubham has got a question. Books for Indian scripture, there are so many: Arthashastra, Dharmashastra. Start with Swami Vivekananda. That is my first suggestion. You want to study Indian scripture, study Vivekananda's book. It will inspire you. Somebody said, if you want to understand India, only understand one person, Swami Vivekananda. What a man, youth leader of our country. So start with Vivekananda if you're not got introduced to spiritual books. Then there are Upanishads, the Bhagavad, the Bhagavad Gita, a lot of things, the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Arthashastra. Start somewhere, start with Vivekananda. Shubham Shukla, why are the youths entering the state of non-thinking, whereas Chanakya through his Niti emphasizes the importance of learning? Absolutely right, youth are not thinking. Actually, we are getting into artificial intelligence too much, and we are forgetting natural intelligence. Artificial intelligence should not make us naturally stupid. So use Google, use information, but important to use your intellect also. So youth should come out of the social media. I'm not telling you to neglect the social media, but isko kehte hain viveka buddhi. You should have the ability to discriminate the right versus the wrong between the fake news and the good news. Everything that is seen is not real. जो दिखता है वो बिकता है नहीं. जो दिखता है वो शायद सच भी नहीं है. And you know what Anvikshiki says? बहुत अच्छा कहा है Anvikshiki के बारे में. I always have this translation. It's called the science of thinking. What is Anvikshiki? The ability to see what is not seen, the ability to listen what is not heard, and the ability to read between the lines. So that's what thinking is. Just don't go by here and say. Use your mind, use your intellect. आपको परखना, आपकी विवेक बुद्धि से करना बहुत जरूरी है. That's where you should learn about thinking. Ambrish, answer a bit in detail, sir. Thank you so much. I've already answered. Can you do a Chanakya program for the youth, 15 to 18 years? Of course, Ganesh, I request that इन्होंने जो program बोला है, Shemi Mom ji, so please, I am be happy. In fact, earlier the better. You are saying that 15 to 16 years, I already started doing Arthashastra programs for children in junior KG. I don't know if you're aware of this. I have written a book for children. We have created a character called Chatur Chanakya. Yeah, of course, Chatur Chanakya is very popular. So children are better to learn Arthashastra before they get colored with the stupid world that we have created outside. Okay, Rajashekhar Ji says people are saying that Manu and Kautilya laws are a little bit different. Same. What do you say about it? So, see, you have to understand Manusmriti, Arthashastra, or even if you look at the modern Indian constitution, everybody is writing his own version based on his generation and the society that they lived in. So the laws will change and the laws has to change. And that is the basic thing about laws. You know, what worked in my parents' generation may not. In fact, it is the responsibility of the youth to actually change certain laws which are not required, which are not relevant. Swami Chinmayanand used to say something very nice. Every generation has got two responsibilities. One is to carry forward what is good in the past. So everything about the past is not good, but what is good continue. And change what is not required. So if a lot of laws are irrelevant, chhod do unko yaar. So it is important that we create new laws which is practical. And of course, it takes us to dharma. That's the legality in our country is called dharma. It is not just legal as a word. Dharma ke kaam ke upar apna society hona chahiye. And every time you do a different activity, dharma changes. So dharma is law, dharma is also duty. Please study that. Okay, so program Kerala mein karoge kya? Of course, I keep going to Kerala. I'm from Kerala. My base is from Kerala. I'm a Mumbai guy, of course. So Kerala mein bulaiye, I'll be happy to come. What do you ultimately believe in, sir? Okay, I believe that every human being has got a purpose in life. We are born for a purpose. If we achieve it, we will get moksha. And everybody's got a different part to it. You know, karma yoga is also leading to moksha. Bhakti yoga is also leading to moksha. Ultimate purpose in life is to actually find a purpose. Find your purpose, give it your best shot, and you'll reach where it is. This is Bharat. This Janma Bhumi is not ordinary. It is also Karma Bhumi. Do your karma. I'm doing my little bit. You know, I also get upset about a lot of things in this world. But ultimately, I think, nahi, tum apna duty kiya kya? Did you fulfill your dharma, your karma? I'm doing this. I don't blame anybody. You know, I said, if everything is right, we are not required. If everything is right, we are not required. So you do your bit. And lastly, I would like to wind up by telling, you know, in college when I was in the youth days, I also was very active in the activist. But over a period of time, I realized, you know, the people who want to change the world actually get frustrated after a point. I'm telling you this. People who believe that this is not right and that is not right, of course you have to be aware, you have to do your little bit, but you know, don't get frustrated with the world. And I have started believing my purpose in life is, you know, don't be an activist, but be active. Don't be an activist, because activist is a different thing. You know, it's about, you know, change the world, we can be much. I respect them also. But instead of becoming an activist, my purpose in life is be active. सुबह उठना है, अपना ध्यान करना है, अपना काम करते हैं, मरते दम तक करना है. Be active till you die. And my activity is seva in the field of knowledge. I have chosen my Swadharma. You choose your Swadharma, but till the end, continue doing this as your dharma. Thank you so much. Namaskar. I enjoyed this. Please stay home. Please use this best time for serving yourself, for saving this country. And I'm once again glad to the whole Think India platform. Thank you, Ganeshji. Thank you, everyone. If there are many more opportunities, we can be in touch. The last thing I would suggest is that I will put up my details on Ganeshji's WhatsApp. I'm quite actively available in every platform, you know, right from Instagram to Facebook to LinkedIn, all those things. But please follow me specifically on my handle on Twitter, which is @rchanakyapillai. A lot of new knowledges of the wisdom of Chanakya I'm sharing on a daily basis. So follow me everywhere. My YouTube videos are there. But you know, somewhere I look forward to meeting each one of you personally. Please read my books, please, whatever it is, and please promote it. Chanakya is not about me and you, it's about the Indian culture. Please be part of this journey to promote the great Indian culture. It is our duty to protect our Rishi Parampara. It's the only Guru Dakshina that we can give others. Finally, winding up, I like to quote something which my Guru Swami Chinmayanand used to tell. He used to say, what you have is God's gift to you. What you have from the great tradition, the culture, what you have is God's gift to you. And what you do with what you have is your gift to God. हमको मिला है spirituality, scripture, but करते क्या हो? So what you have is God's gift to you. And what you do with what you have is your gift to God. So do something, leave this world a better place. Please, please, please promote Indian spirituality, practice it and promote it. Dhanyavad, Jai Hind, and happy Ram Navami, which happened yesterday. And let us all come out together for a greater purpose in life. Thank you so much.